Effective communication plays an important role in life. Communication sometimes becomes a challenge for us. We must convey our message using appropriate, concise, and logical sentences crafted with carefully chosen and accurate words to leave a good impression on the people. Therefore, we should be extra cautious while using some confusing or tricky words to avoid errors. Good morning, my dear students. As you all know, we learn by our mistakes. These mistakes teach us to be certain to be better next time. As it is rightly said that practice makes a man perfect. How much practice we will do, that much better we will be. For that, I am sharing some of the reinforcement tips which will help you crack your exams in a better way and with lesser mistakes. Generally, we make a lot of spelling mistakes. We get confused where to use IE and where to use EI. So the first point which I am covering in the PPT is the spellings, how you have learn the spellings and write. The first spelling in the table given is believe, that is BEILIVE. So we get confused while writing the spelling. Similarly, while writing adverb or adjective. Adjective beautiful, when changed into adverb beautifully, we forget writing double L. Same way it is for jewelry and easily. Next is the punctuation mark. Generally, when we write any sentence, we are not starting with the capital letter of the first word. And we are confused where to put comma, where to put full stop, where to put semicolon or the question mark. So, if I give you an example from the PPT, first example, the boy completes his work on time. The correct way to write this is the boy completes his work on time. The first letter of T, the THE will be capital and full stop will come when you are completing a particular sentence. But when you're asking a question, suppose the second example, do you have a pen, pencil and eraser? So the first word, the very first letter of the first word, D, O, do, will be capital. After pen, you have to put a comma, then pencil and eraser. And when you are ending a question, there will be question mark. Thirdly, articles. We often get confused where to put a, where to put an, and where to put the. Generally, when you are using a vowel sound, when you are listening a vowel sound, you have to put a and an. Suppose the given example, the first example, this is an useful book. Here the sound of useful is not of the vowel. So the correct way to write this sentence is, this is a useful. Similarly, this is a orange is incorrect because the sound of orange is of vowel, that is orange. So the correct way to write is, this is an orange. Same way, I have a 1 rupee coin. People use lot of credit cards. Next is helping verb. Generally, the correct way to write the sentence, if your verbs are correct. I is going to school. The correct way or the correct verb with the subject here to be put is, I am going to school. Same way, there is two buildings which will not come because we are talking about many buildings. So the correct way to say is, there are two buildings. They has a new car. They is a plural subject, so we have to put the verb also plural here. They have a new car. He have done his work. He is the singular subject. So with singular subject, we have to put the singular verb, that is, he has done his work. Next, which and what are always interchangeable. A general rule if the choice is in front of you, use which. For example, I have two kinds of toys, one plastic and one fluffy. Which one do you want? And if the choice is abstract, use what? Suppose given in the second example on the screen, what kind of toys do you like? Somewhere there are confusable nouns. You are not sure whether you have written the correct word or not in the noun place. Confusable nouns, first example given, that is lecturership is incorrect. The correct word to say is lectureship. Similarly, freeship is incorrect. Free studentship we generally say. Then when you are saying family members, that is incorrect. Generally, you are supposed to say members of the family. Boarding is incorrect. Boarding house is correct. English teacher, you are not supposed to say. The correct way to say is the teacher of English. Cousin, brother or sister is incorrect to say. The correct way is cousin. Then if you are using the possessives, you are not supposed to put apostrophes in ours, yours, hers and theirs. There will not be any apostrophe. Then few, a few and the few. When you are using few means not many. A few means some, at least. Positive means opposite of none. Then the few, whatever there is the few means you are talking about the particular thing. Example, few men are free from fault. You are not talking about not a few men, that are few men are free from fault, not many. A few boys will pass in the examination. A few means positive. Opposite of none means there are at least a few boys who will pass in the examination. Next, one must know about the comparatives and superlatives of the words, that whether we add er or est or use more or most. But the is only used when an adjective with est ending or most, for example, the biggest, the most beautiful. For example, that house is the more big than that. The incorrect way is this. The right way or the correct way to say this is that house is bigger than that. This will be the correct comparative degree when you are comparing two things. Apostrophes. Apostrophes are used in contraction or to show possession. However, they are not used with possessive pronouns like his, her or their. The most common error is to put apostrophe where their apostrophe has no use. When you form a plural for nouns, there is no need to add an apostrophe. Even though the use of apostrophe before an S in pluralizing an acronym is quite universal, it is still incorrect. There are all wrong forms of plural nouns: cats, dogs, lots. Not even a word, because we are putting apostrophe. Plural forms in most cases are made by simply adding an S to the singular form. For example, cats, dogs, lots, ABCs. These are the plural forms. When considering whether to use who or whom, you have to rearrange the sentence in your head. Who is a subjective or nominative pronoun, along with he, she, it, we, and they. It's used when the pronoun acts as the subject of a clause. Whom is an objective pronoun along with him, her, it and them. It is used when the pronoun acts as the object of a clause. Using who or whom depends on whether you are referring to the subject or object of the sentence. General rule for using this: subject starts sentences or clauses and objects ends them. This is the general rule. For example, who loves you? Secondly, you are loved by whom? So here the subject starts sentences and objects end them. Last, it's a possessive pronoun. For example, the puppy is going to find its toy. It with apostrophe s is the contraction of it is. Example, it's so hot in July. You can take a easy reminder for learning this. You can replace it apostrophe s with it is every time and reread your sentence whether you have read it correctly or not. So these were some general common errors faced by the students of grade 6 to 8 in English language, which I hope will be corrected by them after getting a view of this presentation. Thank you for investing your valuable time.